Oh, hi guys, Emma again. Welcome back to the spare room. This is the headstock on this little lathe. It's a work in progress. We've got some paint on it anyway. It's been messed around with a bit. The tape has been cut off here to fit just a standard little drill chuck, which isn't a bad little conversion, but it's certainly not original, which is a bit of a pity really. But I don't think we're really going to make a new spindle, although that wouldn't be a big job. They should have, or originally had, a grinding wheel that sat here for sharpening tools. Couldn't think of a worse way to sharpen lathe tools for a lathe like this. So at this point we're going to just leave that off there, and if one turns up at some point, well, we'll put it on. The other thing is this little faceplate. We've got a casting made to replace this because this has got not only a nasty wobble in it, but it's been machined down on the outside quite considerably from all the pictures, and it's had a bit off the inside there and a bit off the face, and it's got hacksaw cuts and things in it. It's pretty ugly, so I've made a new casting, and we all saw the pattern last time, and I've set that up in the lathe. Now, I think this probably wants to be about 16mm deep this way, and we're down to about 18. This is a really nice casting. It was left to cool nice and slow, whereas some of the brass castings that I've had recently were cooled and quenched off, and they get a bit soft, but this is really nice inside and I'm pretty pleased with this. Next job is to machine it, and this is 1/2 inch 12, which is Whitworth, of course, on a machine that was built 20 years after the end of the American Civil War at first. So let's put a hole in that and tap him, turn him around and set him up on the spindle in the lathe, and face him up and see what we end up with. So I've turned it around and I've put a Whitworth nut in behind there, just so that it does up tight rather than spin loose, and I can got a bit sticking out the end of the past the end of the thread to face off, and I put a centre in this side with a bit of oil on it. And we need to face it till this just cleans up here, and that's not quite there yet. So there we go. That's nice and true, and it's getting a bit warm there because taken a fair bit off it, and I'm not sure how sharp that tool is at the moment, but it's a good finish. And let's unscrew him, run the tap through him. He still needs a hole in here for the little drive pin, but it's starting to look like a part. So that's the flywheel. Last job, of course, is to tap this, and it's 1/4-28 for this pin. And of course I haven't got a 1/4-28 tap yet, so I'll have to get one of them. But that's done, and that looks pretty good. We've got this all assembled. it's all together. There's enough room on here for a couple of threads for a drive dog. The pin goes in here to drive the saw attachment if I ever get one. And that's starting to look alright. So another job of these little thumb wheels. They look pretty good. They need to be chopped off there and drilled through. I'm not sure the best way to do that. Maybe if I chop them off and file them flat, clamp them down flat and drill them from the top. I was hoping that this would be suitable for holding them in the chuck to drill them. That was the idea. It's not really. It's all tapered and pretty crap, and I'm not really liking my chances of truing it up enough to do it that way. So we still got to find the centre. I think I'm just going to cut one off and drill it, and if it works I'm going to do the other one. So they worked out rather well. We got a complete set of them. It's the big one for the tailstock, and that one's the tailstock clamp with the thread on him, and one to hold the tailstock down, and a fairly ugly one for the idler pulley. I'm not 100% confident that that was actually on the idler pulley, but it'll do the job. And two new ones for the tool slide, or two tool rests, so they look pretty good. Time to give them a bit of paint too. They're fairly pitted, or I just polish them, so I'm going to paint them and fill them and do a nice job of them. We'll do them that way. So I guess the last bit's this, last machining part anyway. I've put a bit of body filler in this one because he was a bit undersized. I might get a bit more in it yet. But if we have a look at these, in the original one, they got a taper in them. A little bit. An 8mm hole roughly right through. So I'm going to drill them and bore them. And with any luck they'll clean up something like that one. So anyway, that's these bits starting to look something like they should. There's 3 of them, like we should have. And 3 of those. And another one that goes on the pulley, the belt tensioner. And one for the tailstock. And another one to bolt to tighten the tailstock down. So bits are all starting to look like they're coming together now. I'm starting to get a bit enthusiastic about this. There's still a few little bits to do. We're waiting on taps and dies and things, so we might just get this up to speed and give it a miss for a couple of weeks and do something else. But so far I'm really pleased with this little restoration. Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to subscribe and click the like button. Be nice to each other, and more soon.